Stellalicious, Be Noble Jack, you're on. Hello. Chickaboom, 60, hello. And how you doing, Dania Guerriere? Good afternoon. Thanks for the wave. Lindsay Best, 87, good to see you. Natalie, hello. Okashu, very nice. Afrikuman. Cassie Lynn, good to see you. Chloe's baby journey. It's always good to have a journey. Hello there, Journey Through IVF. Good to see you again. Thank you for all the kisses. I love the kisses. Bernice Doway, nice to see you. Just Joy 16, hello. Bentamars, the Journey Through Life. Thank you for the kisses. Hi, Bernice. Welcome. Elizabeth, is vitamin D something we should be supplementing? So, again, let me just talk a little bit. I'm Dr. Magarelli from Cny Fertility, Colorado. Hello, Caitlin Puffer, my dear. Boss Up Boogle, Mandy. So I'm going to go for all questions. Cassie, first FET tomorrow. Good luck. So first question was, should vitamin D be something you're supplementing? The answer is very much yes, for many different reasons. We in the United States typically supplement our whole milk with vitamin D and some other milk products, but quite frankly, many of us are deficient. For about 3 years, I would measure vitamin D on everyone, and everyone except for a precious few, and those precious few who didn't need the supplement were actually taking the supplement. So I do about 10,000 every other day units, million international units. Most folks, we think about 5,000 units a day is reasonable. Some folks need 50,000 as a prescription. So yes, vitamin D is absolutely critical. It's also good, folks, for reducing the risks of coronavirus or the impact of coronavirus. It's fabulous vitamin, very important. Most of the studies that were done for the requirements were on surfers in California who would get about 1 million units a day. So I know that the government has very low requirements, but the bottom line is we do believe supplementation is good. Is it best to remove fibroids during a transfer? Never, never. You do it before the transfer, never during the transfer. How does having anemia affect IVF and keeping the pregnancy, Mandy? What it does is anemia can cause you to miscarry, have a stillbirth. So getting your oxygenation to where it belongs is absolutely critical. If 6 days post 5-day transfer beta is less than 2, is it already a no. Guys, 2 weeks after transfer, 10 days to 2 weeks, then get your blood work. A lot of people want to rush that. You get a lot of false negatives, and sometimes you get false positives from the ACG boosters. Give yourselves, I know it's the hardest 2 weeks, but give yourselves 2 weeks because that number is going to be a real number. All righty. Jordan, 34. FSH is 6 to 8. AMH is low at 0.6. No natural period in 3 years. I lost it. Sorry, it went by too fast. I'm going to start at the bottom here. Okay. Vanessa is telling you about our wonderful CNY fertility group. Please join. Nancy Fitz, I'm 33 and my AMH is 3.4 and all my blood work is good. What would be my protocol look like? I have a consultation in October. Nancy, you would be on a fairly standard protocol because you have good AMH, good age. So somewhere between around 300 units of gonal F, maybe 30 units of HCG-LH, or you could do 225, 150 of gonal F and Menopur. The protocol is not something you say in one sentence. If you have endometrial scratching during a retrieval, how long do you have to wait for transfer? The next cycle. I have a consultation in December. Great. Jordan, 34, AMH 0.6. Any idea what's causing my amenorrhea? Nope. Nope. It's impossible to say, Jordan, from those numbers. You're young enough. Your AMH is not very low. All right, Jamie, Lynn, Selby, Jackal, beta tomorrow. Let's make a baby. Is it common to see a gestational to not see a gestational sac in the uterus or tubes at 5 weeks. Correct. Yeah, your HCG has to be over 1,000 and probably 1,200 units before you can see anything in the uterus. What can we do to increase my chance of an embryo taking? Well, read the family building guide. Read, do acupuncture. Do Serovital, which is a growth hormone secretagogue vitamin. Avoid alcohol, tobacco, drugs, both parties. Currently stimming with 200 gonal-F and 200 ACG-LH. I don't know what that means. Hello there on the Instagram side. If you have questions there, I'll definitely answer you. Hey, Danielle. So bad egg quality due to endometriosis. Can egg quality be improved even though it's caused by endometriosis? So whoever told you that bad egg quality was caused by endometriosis is not correct, period. Second, egg quality is a function of energy, like every cell in the body. So growth hormone can help. Acupuncture, which causes neovascularization, can help. Reducing carbohydrates in your diets likely can help. Reducing inflammation. What was the vitamin you recommended for increasing the chance of embryo taking? I didn't recommend any vitamin to increase your chances of it. Serovital is not a vitamin. It's a growth hormone secretagogue, Serovital. And you can find it at Costco. You can find it online at serovital.com. And what it does is it allows your own body to make extra growth hormone. And that's critical for everything. Absolutely critical for everything. I got a little kiss on that side. Let's see if we have any more. Oh, I'm missing a lot here. Hang on, guys. All righty. Everybody, I think I'm caught up here. It's not going up. My HCG level was 2,000 on the 9th. I started light spotting brown. Should I be worried? Well, just keep yourself well hydrated. Call your doc, tell them, maybe give you some more progesterone. What is the best way to get sperm for someone who has 0% sperm count? Well, you get it directly from the testicles if your FSH is normal, which is the same hormone that women use to find eggs. It's actually the same hormone that makes sperm. Can you take Serovital with Omnitrope? Absolutely. I was recommended to do IUI for recurrent pregnancy loss. Can you explain how IUI would be helpful for me? I cannot. That would not be my approach. Giselle, doctor, I had 1 fresh, 2 frozen transfers with beautiful embryos, all failed. I'm 27, 2 natural ectopics, and just had a lap. Should I do a natural cycle next? What do you recommend? Well, I don't know how many embryos you have saved. Yeah, if you have embryos saved, but you might want to consider doing genetic testing, Giselle, on your embryos if you're going to do another cycle. N-acetylcysteine is a supplement that helps with endometriosis. It says not to take with blood thinners. Is it safe to take with Lovenox? No. How soon should you start the process after a consultation? Usually about 4 to 5 weeks. Hey, finally got a positive yesterday. Yes, 30. I go tomorrow for more blood. Congratulations, Miss Shawnee Boo. Thoughts on exercising, getting ready for a fresh transfer. Just reasonable walking, maybe light swimming, but not high-intensity exercise. Emily, I had stage 2 endometriosis in January. No pregnancies. I'm currently stimming with 200 units in 20. This seems lower than others. Any idea? My AMH is 3.3. Well, it's because, Emily, your AMH is 3.3, which is an excellence. It's not the dosage is important. I'm not saying it's not, but it's really the response, and over-response is never good. And, of course, under-response we don't want, but that's not an unreasonable start. And we got to start somewhere. I guess that's... Okay, how can I go about finding out if I have endometriosis? Lindsay, well, we have a lot on our CNY Fertility Live blogs and Facebook and YouTube videos. We have a whole bunch of discussions. I've been discussing and still discussing endometriosis. Like next week, I'll do part 3 of a 3-part series. But surgery is the way to determine if you have endometriosis. My husband has a very low sperm count. We did blood work and found that he has low testosterone. The urologist put him on Clomid, which will increase testosterone and improve his sperm parameters, so that's good. And he may be on it the rest of his life. His testosterone went to normal, but his sperm never did. Is there anything else we could do to increase sperm count? No, there isn't. Not likely. Fresh versus frozen, Mandy, I think they're both applicable in the right place. Not everybody needs a fresh. Not everybody needs a frozen. It's, yeah. Serovital, I asked a question about Serovital. It's a complex of amino acids that stimulates the brain to increase the production of growth hormone in your body. It's one of the only patented drugs, nutraceuticals on the market that's been shown to do that. Question, during my next laparoscopes, I'm trying to get the tubes open. Pros and cons. I don't think long-term you can get your tubes open. I think you might get it open temporarily. I don't think it's the best method of creating a baby, especially if they're blocked because of infection. You can never tell what's inside the tube. You can tell they're open, but you can't tell if they're functioning. Hello there, everybody on Instagram. Glad to join us. Ask questions. Carrie, can a D&C due to fetal tissue being stuck possibly cause later issues with embryo implantation? Yes, Carrie. This is called Asherman syndrome, and it is associated with long-term issues with implantation. It has to be surgically fixed, and it's a very hard thing to fix, to be honest with you. I have a hood over my cervix, and my OBG says that's why I have not gotten pregnant. I'm 38 years old, and my first consultation with you and your staff is at 27. Yes, Angelique. Yes, go to cnyfertility.com, go to the resource page, download the family building guide, go to the American Board of Oriental Reproductive Medicine, ABORM.org, find a board-certified reproductive acupuncturist. If you're near the New York facilities, go to the Healing Arts Centers and at the programs up in New York, in Syracuse and Albany. Avoid alcohol, tobacco, drugs. It's supposed to you and your partner. Those are things you can do while you're waiting. Oh, Jamie, good luck. Second retrieval next week. What do you okay. Is there any complication with IVF if you have a heart condition? I have a mitral valve prolapse. Should I be concerned about anything? Well, Nancy, talk to your generalist and see what preventative, and also your reproductive endocrinologist, and talk to them about getting on some antibiotic prophylaxis if that's what your doctor believes. Doctor, I had 2 frozen embryo transfers. They were both normal and both bladder ovums. Do you know why this happened? This is Valerie Pipicella. Well, they both were blighted ovums. That means you got a positive pregnancy and then went away, I'm assuming. Many things can cause that. Just because they're chromosomally normal does not mean they're going to make a baby, but it doubles the chance that you will make a baby. Kelly, 27 days past egg retrieval with no cycle. Contact us, please, and we'll get your period started. Get in for a baseline ultrasound. Can a bicornuate uterus cause miscarriages? And yes. And implantation failure? Yes. Had an MRI. I had an MRI. Sorry, guys. Let me get something to drink here. Boy, lots of great questions. Hello, Michael. Good to see you, Metcalf. First blood work from our retrieval was last week. How many acupuncture appointments this week? Well, there's you want to get a total of 9, okay, so figure out how to do that. Say hi to your husband. Why is over response to stimulation not good? Well, for a fresh transfer, it ruins the lining. Second, it can cause you to have ovarian hyperstimulation. Third, it can create what we think is cytoplasmic changes that are not so good for fertility or for fertilization and development. So those are the reasons. And there's many studies that say that more than 15 eggs retrieved, you actually don't get an improvement. You may even get a decline in pregnancy. So overstimulation is not, super overstimulation is not a good thing. Ciao, Michael. Okay. Rashad, do we have to transfer? We have a transfer at noon tomorrow. Can we do acupuncture at 9? Absolutely. Do you ever, hi, Chloe's baby journey. Do you ever diagnose PCOS without seeing cysts? Absolutely. 3 criteria: cysts, polycystic, androgen excess, irregular periods. You could have 2 out of the 3 to get the diagnosis. Is frozen transfer better than fresh? No. My husband had low sperm count, low motility, and low morph. What medication could he use in the meantime? Well, he should avoid alcohol. This is one real BK Kim. What medication is avoid alcohol, tobacco, drugs, smoking, of course. Talk to the urologist about getting on Clomid. That may help. Dr. Mag, do you need to take antibiotics leading up to a hysteroscopy, D&C, or after? I would. Melissa, so with a blocked fallopian tube, does that mean you can possibly have extra eggs on the blocked side? No. Nothing. The tube has nothing to do with your ovaries. There's a misconception there. Estrogen dropped mid-stims and only got 9 eggs, only 1 made to blast. I'm only 26. I'm sorry. It's hard to say why. Thoughts on PGT testing with recurrent pregnancy loss in the late 30s and 40s, Lisa Palmer. That's the population that is most helped. Women between 35 and 40 are most helped with IVF with PGTA. Is there any difference in protocol for someone trying to do gender selection? Chloe's baby journey? Absolutely not. Amber, I've randomly started becoming nauseous when eating meat recently. Are you pregnant, my dear? Let's see. Oh, went by too fast. Sorry. How to avoid DNA fragmentation with Tessa sperm or no, you can't. Well, alcohol, tobacco, drugs causes DNA fragmentation, marijuana especially. Can fibroids make someone make someone to get pregnant? Stop someone from getting pregnant? Yes. We are planning on doing an FET in October. Any tips for leading up? Add one and whatnot. Anne Trimble, look at the family building guide. Definitely acupuncture. Start taking Serovital. Avoid alcohol, tobacco, street drugs. Look at some of the nutraceuticals we have on our website. Chelsea, I have the Assure birth control implant. I got them not knowing how much about them, and the doctor didn't explain them. My husband and I would like to have a child. What would be the process? IVF. After they check and fix and make sure your uterus is okay. Aaliyah Holiday, I'm 35, low blast rate, 14 mature eggs, 2 abnormal embryos, and 18 mature retrieved with just embryo. What can I do? Well, it's a lot of question there. Yeah, there's a lot more. I can't easily tell you. Can you have poor quality but normal labs? Yes, because we don't really have qualitative measures of sperm or eggs, to be honest with you. Cindy, my mother went into early menopause at 36. I'm worried that I'm too. I'm now 33. Is there anything to take to avoid it? You cannot avoid the loss of eggs that are programmed by your mom's chromosomes and your chromosomes. So, but you can store eggs, store embryos. Those are the things that I would recommend. When taking Femara, how much does adding a trigger shot boost success rates? Actually, the purpose of the trigger shot is to precisely time when sperm need to be there. Do you think acupuncture with eSIM can improve egg quality for girls in their 40s? Well, we know that it improves birth rates. It reduces miscarriage rates. It almost eliminates ectopics. So that is a measure of quality. My follicle scan from last Friday showed 6 eggs, 5 in one ovary, 6 in the other after having 6 eggs retrieved per day. I'm wondering what happened to the remaining eggs over a 4-day. So again, Be Noble, that's just follicles. Follicles, folks, when you get an ultrasound, you're welcome. Follicles, when you get an ultrasound, is just a potential egg house. It's just like houses on a street. Doesn't mean that somebody's in the house. It just means there's houses on the streets. So just because you have follicles doesn't mean you have eggs in those follicles. We should expect 70% of mature follicles to have eggs. And what is a mature follicle? It's one that's at least 18 millimeters in mean diameter. What is the difference between triggering with just Lupron or Lupron plus Ovidril? Well, if you're above 40, we think that adding Ovidril may well increase the odds of finding more mature eggs. But again, it also increases ovarian hyperstimulation. So you really don't need to add the Ovidril. If your AMH is 1.5 and you're 40, I would try your own eggs. Maritza, thoughts on PGT testing on donor eggs from a 26-year-old? Nope. I'm not sure that's a good use of your money. Of course, you can do whatever you like. You're welcome, Be Noble. Can COVID vaccine delay a period? If you look at the billions and billions of women now who've been vaccinated, not likely. There is some, it may, but we don't know the answer to that. But it is not a generalizable side effect. Jenna, how many days should my husband abstain from ejaculating before retrieval? 3 to 5 days. Christian, I'm 26-year-olds with male factor. We did a fresh and ERA and 2 FETs on immune protocol 3, HCG wash, IntraLipiz. None of my embryos implanted. You did an ERA, and they were tested. What can be done for recurring implantation failure? Well, you might want to get a diagnostic laparoscopy to see if you have endometriosis. That would be one. I would definitely say make sure you're doing acupuncture. Make sure you're doing serovital and growth hormone. So those would be things. Amber, saline, not pregnant. I'm so sorry. It doesn't happen when I eat things that are not meat. Could it be related to the omnitrope? Should I be concerned? Oh, Amber, you are the one that gets nauseous when you eat meat. And you're not pregnant. I'm sorry. You should be concerned if you're nauseous all the time, but I'm not exactly sure. It could be a gallbladder issue. It might be a primary care issue. I don't think it's an omnitrope issue. Reese, I have 11 eggs left and right, and can I have a baby? I'm 42, or is IUI the best? IVF is the best for you, Reese, 168. At 42, the chance of achieving a pregnancy with an IUI or sex is less than 1%. You're welcome. This is Marisette, just failed my second attempt of IVF transfer of 2 embryos. I'm sorry, HCG is under 1. What can I do to change that to try again? Oh, that's a whole consult. Get on the phone, create a consult, call us. Oh, Fatiromo, I'm so glad you did okay. I'm so glad you did okay. Thank you. I'm glad to hear from you. Thank you. And Vanessa, thank you, Rodriguez, for inviting everyone to join the CNY Fertility user group there. Super Freshy, tomorrow transferring a day 3. Yay. Looking forward to it. All righty, the Racial Dional Life joined us. Hello. Hi there. Let me take a quick drink. How much is egg storage? I don't know pricing. Go to the website, cnyfertility.com. Prices are all there. It's usually done annually, so look for that. If embryos are frozen and did not have genetic testing, can you do it later? Deanna Jones, yes. What is the cutoff estrogen level for fresh? Typically 3,000. That's for a fresh transfer, because if you're above 3,000, now you have ovarian hyperstimulation. All righty, everybody join the fertility group. I think it's a great idea. Support is really important. I'm curious, since there's no questions right now, I'm seeing a lot of folks who want to do PGTA, which is pre-implantation genetic testing. The reason you want to do it, not counting sex selection, but for health, is so that you only put in chromosomally normal embryos. And the reason you want to put in chromosomally normal embryos is you don't want to have a miscarriage, and you don't want to have a baby born with lifetime chromosomal abnormalities. And of course, you don't want the pain and the suffering associated with multiple losses of due to abnormal embryos. But lately, I'm seeing folks who are asking to do a fresh transfer and PGTA, which perplexes me, because then you're losing the benefit of the PGTA, because the benefit is not to have an abnormal embryo. The benefit is not to have a miscarriage. The benefit is not to have a baby born with chromosomal abnormalities. And also the benefit is to get pregnant quicker. So I'm just throwing that out there. I'm not quite sure I can find the logic in that. Some people say something about quickness, but I don't think that's makes sense. So Rashid, how quick can you start acupuncture after transfer? You should do it the day of and the day after and continue going. Christine just got out PGT back today. Love the Colorado team. Thank you, Christy. We appreciate it. I love my team too. Brittany, I have endometriosis. What is the best option to get pregnant? Take care of the endometriosis first if you can, but IVF tends to be the best option. How can my fiancé get a semen analysis if his primary won't write a referral? Pay for it. Just come and get one. I don't think it's very expensive. Wow. Does CNY do mini IVF? Yes. Mine went to a local lab and I paid out of pocket. There you go, Shelly. Yes, we love the Colorado team too. Thank you, Michael. We love all of you guys. We really do, by the way. I know it's a challenge. What is mini IVF? I've done talks on this. Mini IVF is really nothing. It's a make-believe name like extra strength Tide. It's an IVF cycle where you use less medicine, less drugs, saves you money, less eggs, less embryos, less options. In Europe, they always do very low doses of fertility medicine, so that's really where it came from. So people use it to save money more than any other reason, I believe. It does not produce better eggs. It does not get you pregnant more often. Just doesn't. In the old days, there was a thought. Olivia, FET in Syracuse today with our last embryo. Everybody send good thoughts to Olivia, okay? What's happening over here on my my Facebook site? It's pretty quiet over here, guys. Is any questions? Tell me you're alive there. Oh, there we go. Sperm or egg quality? First IVF, 2 abnormal, PGT. Second IVF didn't get PGT. 2 embryos, only 1 thought. I didn't implant. Well, fertilization, you think of the sperm during the first 2 days after you retrieve. So if you get good fertilization, it's not likely a sperm issue. If you get poor development the first 2 or 3 days, it might be an egg issue. And then if you get bad development at the end, at the last level, it could be the embryo itself, which means it's the genetic combination. Now, if you have a severe male factor, which is oligoasthenoteratozospermia, then it may cause issues with the quality of the embryo itself, typically. Can't really change it, but you should do lifestyle things. Why doesn't mini IVF produce better quality eggs? Because there's no such thing as medication causing poor quality eggs. It's an old Google memory that's not been, it's been refuted over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, that it's just stuck on the internet and people keep talking about it. It's like a lie that you keep saying, people will start to believe it. How can I lower my testosterone levels and still try to get pregnant? Pretty hard to do, but you could do dexamethasone, which is a medication like prednisone that will lower some of your male hormones in the body. I have tried Clomid and Lupron and nothing helped. Clomid and Lupron. I don't know what your question is there. How does the FDA testing for male donor work? We have a known donor and we want to use him with CNY. How does it work? It's just a blood test. Ultrasound, what is reproductive care management? What are they looking for? They're looking for the development of the follicles. Should you use omnitrope in a frozen embryo transfer? Yes, you should. I was told a mini IVF was your recommendation for me due to a low AMH. That's exactly right. To save money, because if you add a lot of medicines, you're not necessarily going to get more eggs, and it depends on how low your AMH is. So that was a discussion which I have with patients who are certainly in their 40s, and I don't know your age, and certainly with AMHs less than 1, or with an experience of only making 1 or 2 eggs with a previous cycle, then AMH makes sense. And Rashid, I said this already. How quick can you start acupuncture after transfer? Immediately. I took 5 milligrams of letrozole for 5 days and I only produced 1 follicle. I'm 37. Should I be concerned? Well, yeah, I think you need to move on to IVF. Yeah. But letrozole's job, though, is to produce only 1 follicle if you're doing IUI. Is it possible for someone not to ovulate after her period? Of course. Yes. How long do you prime with Omnitrope before FET? It's not before FET. During FET would be just fine. So a week would be fine, or during FET. Thanks for the kisses. Fresh teaser with fresh retrieval versus frozen teaser and frozen transfer. Well, a fresh teaser is good, but that has nothing to do with the transfer, Yulia. Transfers are based on what you need. Would you recommend IUI or IVF for PCOS? I have irregular periods and high testosterone, Megan. Well, it's based on your age. Under 35, certainly IUIs. Is it okay to get an HCG? Is it okay to get an HCG was 52 hours ahead? Not sure what that is. All right. How often would you suggest IntraLipiz? Well, I would follow the CNY protocol. I don't have a lot of data on how often. There's probably a protocol for that, but I don't have a recommendation. What role does AMH play? AMH is a marker of ovarian reserve. How many eggs are available? That's really all it is. HCG wash, I'm not quite sure. 1 ectopic, 1 failed round, doing hysteroscopy at DNC in a few weeks. Cycle is due immediately after that. Should I transfer right after me 2 weeks later or wait until the next full cycle? Samantha, the next full cycle. Andrea, metformin for PCOS. I'm not a big fan of metformin. I used to be. I think a low-carb keto approach is way better. Myoinositol or avasitol, I think, is equivalent. Avoiding carbohydrates, that's really the key. Because that's all it's doing, metformin, is making believe you're on a keto diet. Is there any way to lower FSH? No. FSH is a marker of ovarian reserve. You can't add eggs to your ovary, which is the only way to lower the FSH. So you can't really add eggs to your life. You're welcome, Andrea. All right. I have acromegaly, PCOS, and high IGF-1 from a pituitary tumor. I do not, went by too fast. Samantha, I have high AMH. I ovulate and get my menses on time every month. I had 2 failed IUIs with donor. Would I be wasting my time getting another? What are my chances of one if I change the donor? High AMH, I ovulate and get my menses on time. Well, so you're using, tell me how old you are, and I can tell you. How many rounds do you suggest for girls in their 40s before surrendering? Girls still getting 10 eggs or retrievals. No retreat, no surrender, Lisa. It's not a matter of surrendering. It's just a matter of 36. It's a matter of your choice. In other countries, they do 17, 18 IVF cycles because it's covered by their government. So they do it and they get babies. 36-year-old and you've had 2 IUIs. Well, IUIs at 36 have about a 6% chance of success each month. You may want to think about doing IVF because I know the cost of sperm is gosh darn expensive. Hello, Push Through Mom. Welcome. Doing an HCG wash Saturday at 10, transfer not until 1:30. Is that too late to work? Not at all. Not at all. You're priming your biology. That's what you're doing. I want to get IVF, but I get irregular periods all my life. I'm 43. That Love Lacey 29. Absolutely. That's who we treat. You're a good candidate. Nancy, where do I work from? I'm Dr. Magarelli, Cny Fertility, Colorado Springs. We are we used to be the newest CNY member of the family, but now, of course, Sarasota is the newest member of the family, and I think Philadelphia is coming on board. So there's lots of cool places. Alicia, I had 2 polyps removed from the uterus. It was found that I have complex endometrial hyperplasia. I'm 38. I had an IUD placed. AMH is that. Is there anything in the meantime I can do to prepare for either IUI or IVF? You're 38, do IVF and be safe. Do you guys do endometriosis surgery? Yes. What collocation? I said, what is the recommendation for increasing egg quality? Thinking, well, certainly you have enough time, Heather, for acupuncture, twice per week until December. Serovital is a growth hormone secretagogue. Avoiding alcohol, tobacco, drugs, a low-carb, moderate protein, high-fat diet, good fats. Those are all things you can do, a good lifestyle. Hi, Doc. I'm memo transferring a 5-day blast next week. What is the benefit of the letrozole I'm taking in conjunction with estrase for an FET, Zandria? I'm not sure unless you're doing a natural cycle. Why is IUI better before? Don't know the question to that. Since my question may be complex for this live stream, just a simple one. Do you guys take in patients with pituitary tumors, Victoria? Of course. Andrea, you're 35 years old. What is better? At 35, the reason I say IVF is better is mainly because of the cost in our program, not everywhere. And since our program costs are so low, and the advantages are tenfold better with IVF than IUI, that's why I say IVF is better. I don't know what true Niagen is, so you'll have to help me, J. Cherry. Can you speak to the benefits in layman's terms about Serovital? I thought I did already. I did. It's a growth hormone secretagogue, which just means that it causes your body to rejuvenate, let's use that word, layman's term, the amount of growth hormone your body has, which of course is good for your muscles, your bones, your eggs, your sperm, your uterus. Is this FET fails and it is our last embryo? We are thinking of using donor eggs next round. What are your thoughts, Anne? Well, sure. I mean, there's a point at which you do need to move on to other options, which will give you a better chance. I don't know enough of your story, Anne, to say what's the best for you, but yes, donor is a good alternative. Love Lacey, I had my tubes cut and burned. Would this lessen my chances of pregnancy with IVF? Yes, slightly, only because of the number of eggs, not because of the techniques. Do you recommend pregnant women continue to take Serovital? I'm not against it, but you'd have to read the package insert. Is Serovital a pill? It absolutely is a pill. It is, and you can get it at Costco, you get it online. It's basically very special amino acids that cause your own body to produce more growth hormone. With recurrent miscarriages, should we test? I have no idea what that is. Pi 1, 4G, 5G, sorry. Don't know what that is. Jacqueline, what treatment options would you recommend for recurrent pregnancy loss? Hundreds. But the best is IVF with pre-implantation genetic testing if your uterus is normal. Hello, Anise. Welcome. Maria, welcome. Infertile Me, work, welcome. Currently, day 5 of STIM and have our first follow-up ultrasound tomorrow. NECNY reviews the results. Will that give us an idea of how far we are out from retrieval? Yes. So we do about 10, 11 days of ultrasounds and blood work to determine when's the best time to take the eggs out, which is a mean diameter on the follicles, egg houses, of approximately 18 millimeters, 17 millimeters. Because those are mature. That's usually an 11-day process. And then you take the eggs out through the vagina, you fertilize the eggs. In basic IVF, you grow them to embryos and put them in. In IVF with genetic testing, you grow the embryos, biopsy them, freeze them, and then you send the biopsy specimens for genetic analysis. And then you find out which ones are normal, and then you put those in. So in terms of IVF, let's say a 35-year-old woman, she probably has about a 30% chance of IVF working with basic IVF and about a 50 to 55% chance of IVF working with IVF with chromosomal testing. Chloe, is there an average amount of eggs retrieved for someone aged 34 to 35? Yes, around 12. Can one do IVF with frozen pelvis? Not sure what that is. Can you transfer more than one donor egg? Not likely, Courtney. Did one retrieval got 9 eggs, only 3 mature, 37 AMH of 0.9? That's actually pretty good. And I did 2 IVF, but both ended in miscarriage at 10 weeks. Anything that can help? 38, yes. Do IVF with genetic testing, number 1, because 80% of your embryos are abnormal, which can cause them to miscarry. Secondly, make sure there's no physical problems. Third, do acupuncture. Add acupuncture to your regimen. Fourth, avoid alcohol, tobacco, drugs, smoking. I'm a broken record. I know I'm a broken record. If I have an egg retrieval in October, how soon after that can we do a transfer? If you do a fresh transfer, you can do it the same month. Could CNY coordinate male Tessa and egg retrieval for a fresh cycle? Very difficult, not sure. Benefits of the HCG boosters, Melinda, it's basically priming the uterus to accept a pregnancy. That's the 2 or 3 papers that talked about it. Would you recommend regular IVF versus mini IVF? Went by too fast. Would you recommend regular IVF versus mini IVF based on your comments? Well, it depends on your age. I don't recommend mini IVF for most folks, unless there's some good reasons, unless there's some really strong reasons. Do we have a place in North Carolina? Not yet, BJ Pumping. Transferring more than one doesn't increase your chances of getting pregnant. It just increases your chances of multiples. Also could lose both. Whoever said that, Carrie, absolutely true. Oops, replied to the wrong person. Well, I'm glad you said it anyway, Carrie, because quite frankly, adding more is not better. What could be a strong reason for mini IVF? Over 40, a failed IVF cycle, or IVF cycles where you get only 1 or 2 eggs. That's it. Really, that's kind of it. Hi, John Randall 211. Is it true if you transfer 2 embryos that they compete with each other? Well, it's not that they compete, but if one is abnormal and one is normal, so you may have one miscarry and take the other one with it. Never a good idea. Any add-ons that you would recommend for our frozen embryo transfer? Well, that's a consult because I have to see everything that you're on. But things like acupuncture, serovital, growth hormone, make sure you have an ERA done or an ER peak. Make sure you're taking your vitamins. I do like aspirin, Lovenox, IntraLipiz. Those are things you can do. Is it true okay, we already said that. Okay. What do I think about an ERA before or after a diagnostic lab? Well, I think they're 2 different things, Caitlin. They're 2 very different reasons for doing it. Bad Girl Tree. Hello, my consultation is in October. My labs go out the 25th of this month. What would you recommend? Don't know what that means, Bad Girl Tree. Do we do ERAs and biopsies? Of course we do, Chai. What are the reasons someone would suggest to transfer 2 embryos? A CNY doctor suggested it, and I was caught off guard, so I didn't ask why, Samantha. Well, it might be that they're untested. That's the main reason, is that depending on your age, it could be up to 90% of the embryos are abnormal, even though they look beautiful. Is there a way to increase the quantity of eggs at retrieval? I've only had 1 egg for my last IVF cycle. Well, it could be a medication. It could be a biologic reason why you only got 1. Those are 2 areas. Can't change the biology, but you may be able to increase the amount of medication you use. The person who's asking about going to mini IVF, the reason you're doing mini IVF in your age group would be to save money. That's it in that circumstance. Bad Tree Girl, the recommended labs before you move on, okay. yeah, so if you go to the CNY Family Building Guide, there's a list of tests that you should have. So I think that's your question. Clarabelle, hello. Angela, 42 out of 3 retries, retrievals. I have 5 3-day frozen embryos untested. Should I unfreeze and push to blast and test, or FET as day 3s? FET as day 3s. Yulia, I'm 40 T's of sperm. Are these good numbers? 13 eggs, 6 mature, 4 fertilized, 2 blast. Those are fantastic numbers, Yulia. Fantastic. Jai Bell Desai, welcome. Laurel Fertility Care, hello. SL Claire, hello. Priscilla, hello. Caitlin, yes, I'm doing both. Just what order would be best, lap then ERA? Well, why don't you time your laparoscopy for the time you need to get your biopsy and get them 2 for 1 in that sense. Yeah, I mean, you could try that. There's no order. That's one or the other. Nancy, RH negative affect IVF at all? I have 4 natural pregnancies, but not sure if IVF and being negative works differently. It does not. Would you recommend any add-ons for an FET, Ann? Well, I think I kind of answered that a couple of times. Cost of IVF with donor egg. Anything to do with costs, folks, I do not answer. Go to our website, or you can call our financial folks, but it's on our website. Can you pick the sex of the embryo? Yes. How many do you recommend for transfer in IVF? 1. Are a day 3 FET better than a 5-day blast? Nope. Arianas, welcome. Delareo, welcome. Kim, Treese, hello. Tammy, because my 3 remaining embryos was suggested to transfer all 3. Yeah, well, they're trying to stack the deck and at least getting 1 to work because of, quotes, the quality. But again, folks, quality is a very hard thing to define. What's the benefits of IntraLipiz after transfer, Michael? Well, the thought is that we can't get people to eat the way we want them to eat, which is a high-fat, moderate-protein, low-carb eating, like the keto. And because IntraLipiz are known to reduce inflammation in the body, and inflammation is known to have all kinds of disastrous effects on all kinds of cells, including pregnancy cells. That's the thinking behind it. Hello, sir. Nicole, my tubes are tied. Is IVF the best option? Yes. Vanessa, everybody should join the CNY fertility group. Click below. Could previous C-sections cause issue with implantation? Yes. So if you have multiple 3-day frozen untested and 40s, you suggest transferring 1 at a time? Not really. No. If you're over 40, and I think it's not unreasonable to transfer 2 day 3 untested. Tested, just 1. Okay. Does CNY perform polypectomy hysteroscopically during retrieval? Some of the practices do. It depends on the size of the polyp and the safety. Can I ask questions that may be sensitive in nature? I have no idea, Heather. We have to be private here. I mean, how does a tilted uterus affect fertility, if at all? It does not. Can we talk about the benefits of PRP? Lisa, well, PRP is essentially a platelet-rich plasma, which has a lot of growth factors and cytokines and things that the body uses to heal and grow and do things. And so there's a theory that putting it in the ovary will rejuvenate the ovary. Not many studies. There's a theory that putting it in the uterus will rejuvenate the lining of the uterus. Not many studies. So that's the theory behind it, and it's really theory. There's not a lot of good data. What determines if letrozole is added to a protocol? I don't know. I don't know. People do it for the mini as a cheap alternative to gonadotropins, but I don't understand the use of it in any other than to save money. I mean, I do think it does save some money on medications, but honestly, not very much. We're expecting our Wildcat, Aaron. Congratulations. That's Arizona, folks. I went to the University of Arizona. Okay, let's see if anything's happening over here. Nothing's happening on the Instagram side. And an alternative to LDN, not that I know of. Not that I know of. Don't take the LDN. It's okay not to take it. How soon can I fly back home after a frozen embryo transfer? 24 hours later. Please take my recommendation. Fly 24 hours after your transfer. Too many patients are coming to our clinic and thinking they're going to transfer, rush to the airport, stand in line, hopefully get online, get on a plane, dehydrate in the air, land, get in a car, get to their house, all within one day. Nah, too much. How many eggs should you have to have a baby? Well, how many embryos do you need to create one healthy baby? Well, if they're chromosomally tested, you can have a 60% chance of a baby with 2 chromosomally normal embryos if you're in your 20s. With 3 chromosomally normal embryos in your 20s, you can have an 80 to 90% chance of a baby. So it's making those embryos that really matter. Paula, I am 37. Which is the best between Menopur and low-dose HCG? No difference as far as I can tell. Hi, Carmel. Hi, KXLE. Hey, Shafez. I am 37. Okay. Your thoughts on NMN and reversatol? I don't have any. How long do you stay following a retrieval for a fresh transfer? Well, Heather, if you're going to do a day 3 transfer, that's going to be 4 days after your retrieval. You're going to do a day 5 transfer, that's 6 days after your retrieval. That's a rule of thumb. It's not specific. It's going to be depending on your embryos, of course, and how they're growing, of course. What do you recommend for a 32-year-old woman with PCOS and unicornuate uterus, IUI or IVF? 32. Well, I would try IUIs if it'll work. I really would. When is testing embryos necessary? It's for genetic problems and for family balancing. And for recurrent pregnancy loss that are genetically caused. You said overstimulation is not good. I had 26 eggs at retrieval and 13 of them are now frozen, but I did definitely overstimulated, so I'm concerned. Okay. I'm not quite sure what the question is. Of course you're concerned, but again, you're looking for answers. You're looking, there's nothing to be said about your concern. Everyone's going to be concerned, but don't be. Maybe that's the word I can say. I'm 26, had surgery in March, and they removed adhesions on my bowel that was distorting my anatomy. Would this affect my IVF outcomes if they start coming back? Not for IVF. Are there any fertility positivity podcasts you would recommend, Becca? Well, the Fertile Spirit, Fertile Hope Yoga, those are the main ones. Can you have a period and then start spotting 3 days later? You can, Reese. Not sure what it means. I'm not sure what it exactly means, I should say. It's just too many reasons why that could be. Danielle, called to get prices on meds, was told Gonal-F would be much less expensive than Follistim. Is it okay to use Gonal-F instead of Follistim? Absolutely. Charlene, you're very welcome. Benefits of Lovenox for transfer when trying to stay as natural as possible. There are no benefits to staying natural as possible because that's not why you come to a physician, because natural doesn't work and biology is the winner all the time. So we're trying to change biology, meaning we're trying to get outside the natural reproductive cycle, which is age 24 and below. So adding medications, goal, get you pregnant, reduce the time to getting a baby. So I'm not sure what natural means in an IVF cycle or an FET cycle. It's almost it's almost contradictory. If I ovulated on day 22, is that too late to get pregnant? No. No, you can ovulate any time in the cycle and get pregnant as long as you ovulate. I'm trying natural because I can get pregnant, but I have full mutation Fragile X. So again, stop with the natural and say what's optimal. That's what you want, is you want to get pregnant optimally, Brittany, not naturally, optimally. Because you can't, you're doing all the IVF and PGTA and the estrays and the progesterone. You want to use, if you have a recipe to make a cake, you can't leave out the flour, you can't leave out the eggs, you can't leave out the butter, because you end up not making the cake you want to make. Can you take a pill to get pregnant faster, Reese? Well, it can make you ovulate. There are vitamins that improve your reproductive capacity. Acupuncture can increase your likelihood of getting pregnant. Yes. My prolactin is 36. What can I do to decrease it? It's medication. Make sure that they do an MRI of your brain to make sure there's no mass. Chai, I did 2 rounds of IVF outside the U.S. Just now I see this CNY is cheaper, and I'm really happy. And I have a good embryo frozen in my first. I get positive, but after I get stopped progesterone after 10 days, low dose, I lose the second trimester. Nothing failed. Okay. I hope you can get pregnant too, Chai. HSG recommended still if tubes are tied. Yes. Yes, because we want to see if there's a hydrosalpinx. Is there a way to get more mature eggs? Yes. Grow the follicles longer. What does taking progesterone and estrogen at the start of an IVF cycle do? You don't take estrogen and progesterone at the start of an IVF cycle. You do not do that. Yeah, that's a substitute for birth control pills. Sorry. I see. What they're doing is they're adding estrogen and progesterone so your cyst doesn't grow. That's what they're doing. I was trying to understand that. Oh my goodness. See you there, Doc, in New York. CNY, I watched all the time. See you soon. Okay. Anyway, thank you all for joining me today. This was an amazing quick hour. Next week, we're doing part 3 of our endometriosis 3-part story. We're going to be talking about the role of endometriosis on fertility. So we're going to spend a lot of time talking about that. Remember, we're here to help, and we're very grateful for you all. A lot of the time, you wonder what is the best protocol, the quickest protocol. But in reality, getting your eggs to grow, it's really your eggs. So a healthy body is a fertile body. So I strongly recommend avoiding alcohol, tobacco, street drugs. Men should avoid hot tubs. Men should avoid smoking. Smoking increases miscarriage rates in women, so please don't let them do that. Oh, you're very welcome, Danielle. My pleasure, everybody. Send me kisses because I love kisses. I will see you guys next week. This is working out great for me, too. And I thank you for your time, and a shout out to all those wonderful people working at CNY. Please say thank you to them. They really work hard, I will tell you, and they really care. And thank you for spending your evening with me, and good luck till next time. Take care, everybody. Thanks for the kisses. Bye.